Hi guys, in Ruchi's kitchen today, I'm going to make veg tahiri, which is a one-pot rice dish from the northern Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. The USP of this dish is that it's superbly delicious and very easy. So let's see how. I'm going to start with heating some ghee. Once the ghee is hot, first goes in the whole spices. I'm going to add some black cardamom and star anise, few cinnamon sticks, few cloves, one dry bay leaf and some cumin seeds. Just roast them for a few seconds. I'm going to add one whole green chili, 2 large shredded onions, let the onions caramelize. The onions have caramelized a bit and now I'm going to add the ginger and garlic paste. Next I'm going to add some diced potatoes. Next I'm going to put some cauliflower florets. One cubed carrot, one chopped tomato, green peas, I'm going to cover the pot and let the vegetables cook for 5 minutes. After 5 minutes, give the vegetables a good stir. And now time to add the rice. You can use any variety of rice. I'm using basmati, but whatever rice you have at home is fine. Next, quickly add all the dry spices. There's coriander and cumin seed powder, red chili powder, turmeric powder and just a dash of garam masala. Salt to taste and add double the quantity of water to rice. So around 2 cups of water. Mix everything properly, cover it and let the rice simmer till it's nicely cooked. Let's check on this. Once the rice is half cooked, I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of curd now. This is optional, it's not compulsory, but I like to do so. And if you feel the need to add a little bit of water, you can do so. Give this a light stir. Cover this and let it simmer for another 5 to 6 minutes. The last leg of the cooking time is over and now I'm going to check it. The rice looks beautifully cooked as well as the vegetables. I'm just going to cover it, turn off the flame and let it rest for 5 minutes. Packed with vegetable nutrition, you can even add some chopped spinach leaves or mint leaves. So do try this recipe at home. Let me know how it turned out. See you next time. Bye-bye. Today's recipe is every busy mom's solution for a fancy meal or dinner. All you have to do is throw all the ingredients in a pot and your pasta is ready. Hello and welcome to Rajshri Food. I'm your host Ruchi Bharani and today we are going to make one-pot pasta. Let's start with heating 1 tablespoon of olive oil. Next, add in a tablespoon of butter. 1 tablespoon of garlic paste. Let's give this a mix. Into this, I'm going to add 1 onion finely chopped. Let's cook this for 2 minutes. Into this, I'm going to add half a yellow capsicum cut into squares and half a green capsicum cut into squares. After cooking the bell peppers for a minute, I'm going to add 2 tomatoes boiled and pureed. Cook the tomato puree for at least 3 to 4 minutes. The tomato puree is dried out now. Into this, I'm going to add 2 cups of water. Once the water comes to a boil, let's add in 100 grams of spaghetti. After boiling the spaghetti for 3 to 4 minutes, let's also add in half a cup of baby corn chopped and a cup of broccoli florets. You can add in any kind of vegetables that you have at home. Cover this and let it cook for another 8 minutes. If you feel the need to add some more water for the pasta to cook, you can do so. Now, let's check on this. The spaghetti is nicely done. Let's add all the remaining ingredients into this. 1 teaspoon of dried oregano. Tear in a few basil leaves. 1 teaspoon of red chili flakes. 1/4 teaspoon of pepper powder. 6 to 7 halved cherry tomatoes. Give this a mix. Let's add in the last few ingredients. I have around 3 tablespoons of grated cheese, 3/4 cup of fresh cream, salt to taste. Give this a good mix. And let this cook for another 3 to 4 minutes. A cheesy, creamy one-pot spaghetti is ready to plate. So let's do that. This is not only a delicious but an attractive looking meal, but also saves us from the tiring job of doing multiple dishes in the kitchen. I love one-pot meals. They are like blending of all the goodness that every ingredient individually has. I'm making one today which when goes into the oven comes out with heavenly deliciousness, that is veg casserole. I'm going to start with sauteing all the vegetables. For that I'm going to heat up some olive oil. Once the olive oil is hot, I'm going to add finely chopped garlic, finely chopped celery, onions chopped, green capsicum. The best part about this dish is you can add any vegetables of your choice. French beans, carrots, green peas, baby corn, broccoli, yellow corn I've boiled. Mix all these ingredients well. Next I'm going to add some salt for the vegetables to cook in. Also add in all the seasoning ingredients, some red chili flakes. I have some Italian pizza seasoning, Give this a mix. Cover the vegetables and let it cook for 2 to 3 minutes and reduce the flame as well. While the vegetables are cooking, I'm going to quickly make the breadcrumb mixture. For that, I have taken some brown bread, add a little bit of melted butter. Also, I have some grated cheddar. Just mix all these ingredients properly. And this crumbly mixture is ready. The vegetables have been cooking since 2 to 3 minutes. And now, I'm going to add roughly chopped spinach. Once the spinach leaves are wilted a bit, I'm going to add tomato puree. Let this cook for 2 to 3 minutes. After the tomato puree is dried out a little bit, at the end I'm going to add some fresh cream. Mix it well. The vegetables are ready and the topping mixture is ready. For serving, I'm going to transfer this in a baking dish. Spread it in the baking dish. And now I'm going to spread this breadcrumb and cheese mixture. This is ready to go in a preheated oven at 180 degrees for 15 minutes. This one is baked to perfection, a beautiful brown color on the top and now ready to enjoy. Casseroles are usually associated with meat. Now since you have the vegetarian version, make it and enjoy. See you next time. Bye-bye.
Today, let's make Thukpa. For the uninitiated, it's a Himalayan noodle broth which is extremely popular across seasons. Hey guys, this is Varun Inamdar and welcome to Rajshri Food. While making any soup, what's critically important is getting the stock right. The clarity, the flavor, the taste, that's of absolute paramount importance. What I've done for Thukpa is taken cold water, added some onions, mushrooms, carrots, cabbage, star anise and a knob of ginger. This stock is bubbling for the last 10 minutes, 10 more minutes to go. In the interim, what I'm going to make is a Thukpa paste. For this, the first thing that goes in is some tomato. I'm following this up with sliced onions. Along with this, some ginger and cloves of garlic. The next flavor is Thai chili. Well, this one is extremely spicy. It's called the bird's eye chili, but you can use any chili of your choice. To this, I'm adding in just a little bit of star anise. We do not want to flavor it too much, just keep it as little as possible. And one of the most important ingredients is the Szechuan pepper or timur. I'm adding that. I have the crushed one of it. I'm using that. If you can lay your hands on the fresh ones, absolutely nothing like it. The last ingredient that goes in is some fresh coriander. Let's grind this into a fine and smooth paste without using water because tomato and onion is going to do the job. Well, our paste is done and ready. And if you notice, our stock is also done and ready. Let's strain that before we move ahead. Vegetables need to be discarded. And I am going to use the same pot. Put it on high flame, just add in a teaspoon of oil and that is just perfect. Allow that to heat. Once oil in the wok heats up, the next thing that goes in is our Thukpa paste. Allow this to cook on medium flame for roughly around 3 to 4 minutes. And in the interim, it could be the time where you start processing the vegetables. I have done a few, but I still need to cut a few more. Let's begin with green cabbage. We need to cut the pok choy either into half or into 1/4. With this, I also have some young baby carrots which I have snipped, I have peeled, blanched and kept ready. And the last thing that I'm using here are some button mushrooms. Well, these are the vegetables that I personally like in my thukpa. Well, you can use any of your choice. Just cut these plainly into quarters. You could also slice these. Let's move on to the thukpa paste. Time to increase the flame and cook this for 30 seconds. Once this is done, we'll start adding in the vegetables. The cabbage, bok choy, and button mushrooms. Time to add in our vegetable stock. And along with this, our blanched baby carrots. This thukpa is going to take as much time to cook as much time the vegetables are going to get cooked. Time to flavor this and season this with salt and just a touch of black pepper. Allow this to cook on high flame for roughly around 3 to 4 minutes. One final stir and our thukpa is ready to be served. Off goes the flame. Here with me I have some blanched noodles. The first thing that goes in our serving bowl is of course the noodles. As much or as little as you please. And this is topped up with the broth. And finally, some black pepper. If you've liked this recipe of thukpa, I'm not the one to be thanked. Let's thank the immigrants of Tibet who got this amazing, sumptuous recipe of soup to India.
Indian rice and Mexican spice already rings a bell at your taste buds. So let's combine the two and go ahead with today's recipe, that is my version of Mexican rice. First, I'm going to heat up a tablespoon of oil in a pan. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add one small onion finely chopped, 2 tablespoons of garlic finely chopped. Let the onion saute for 2 minutes. Next, let's add in half a green capsicum finely chopped and half a red capsicum finely chopped. With this, also half a cup of green peas. These are raw green peas. Next, I'm going to add 3 small tomatoes that are grilled. So what I did was I took the tomatoes and I put it in the oven on the griller and let it char for at least 20 minutes. After that, I have just churned it, like half churned, just make a pulp out of it and remove the black skin. So this pulp goes into the vegetables too. Let the tomato pulp cook for 2 to 3 minutes with the vegetables. After this, let's add all the seasoning ingredients. So I have half a teaspoon of cumin seed powder, 1 tablespoon of taco seasoning mix, 1 teaspoon of red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of chili flakes, 1 teaspoon of oregano, and 1.5 tablespoon of ketchup. The tomato pulp is nicely cooked, and now into this I'm going to add 1 cup of rice. You can use any long grain rice. Just wash and soak it for half an hour. Add in 2 cups of water. Let's cover this and let it simmer for 5 minutes. Five minutes are up. Let's check on the rice. The rice is half done, and into this I'm going to add a few more ingredients. I have half a cup of soaked and pressure cooked kidney beans, half a cup of boiled corn. If you like the rice very spicy, you can add 1 jalapeno sliced. I've used a milder chili here. Some coriander leaves, some spring onion and leaves. Give this a light mix. Also add in salt to taste. Let's cover this again and let it cook till the rice is done. Let's check on the rice. This is done. Let's turn off the flame. And into this, I'm going to grate around 1.5 tablespoons of cheese. I'm using cheddar. Give this a slight mix. Since the rice is hot, the cheese is nicely going to melt. And this rice is ready to serve. Enjoy this Mexican rice with a side of sour cream or beans. Do try this at home, comment below and let me know how it turned out.
Today we are going to make a one-pot recipe that is loaded with protein and micronutrients. That is a flavorful red lentil soup. For this recipe, I am using 3 teaspoons of olive oil. To that I am going to add 1 whole onion. To this I am going to add 4 cloves of garlic that I have crushed. Saute it for a bit. 1 red bell pepper. 1 yellow bell pepper and 2 medium-sized carrots. Mix it well. Once the vegetables have softened a bit, I'm going to add 3 medium-sized tomatoes to it. Now I'm going to add some spices to it. Half teaspoon of turmeric, 1/4 teaspoon basil, half teaspoon oregano, 1/4 teaspoon thyme, 1 teaspoon of red chili flakes, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper powder and 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon Kashmiri red chili powder. Give this a nice mix. To this I'm going to add 1 cup or 200 grams of red lentils, that is washed masoor dal. To this I'm going to add 5 cups of vegetable stock. I'm using a low sodium vegetable stock. You can learn how to make vegetable stock at home by clicking the link in the description box. Now we are going to cover this and let it simmer for around 15 to 20 minutes or till the time your lentils are tender. So our lentils are cooked. There is a small trick to make the soup creamy without adding any cream or butter to it. Take half the soup and let it cool down. Our soup has cooled down and now we are going to blend it. Once it's blended, you can add it back to the remaining soup. Switch on the gas and mix it well. As you can see, the color and texture has changed slightly and it is looking creamier. To this, I'm going to add some spinach. A quick mix. Let it boil for another 5 minutes. So our soup is ready. The entire batch is for around 350 calories, which serves 4 people. Do try this recipe at home and let us know your feedback. Until next time, bye-bye.
A bowl of noodles can make a very filling and a tasty main course dish. A slight twist can add a variation and enhance the flavors. So, what I bring today is a very tasty dish right from the heart of Thailand. I have these rice flat noodles or the Pad Thai noodles, and what I've done is I've just soaked them in water for around 10 minutes. Don't soak them for more than 10 minutes and then drain out all the water before using it. So now I'm just going to drain out all the water. And now I'm going to quickly stir fry everything. So turn on the flame. In a wok, heat some oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add ginger garlic paste and some lemongrass pieces. Just bruise the lemongrass pieces a little bit. Capsicum, green and red. Bean sprouts. I'm going to add some bird's eye chilies. I've just sliced them. And now all the sauces. Red chili sauce. Just a little bit of soy sauce. Tamarind paste. Brown sugar or palm sugar. Just mix everything quickly. Once the sugar melts, add the noodles. Some spring onions and the leaves. Salt to taste. And at the end, I'm going to add some lime juice and some coarsely ground peanuts. A little bit of peanuts I'm going to add inside and leave some for garnish. Just give it a last mix. And these noodles are ready to plate. And now I'm going to garnish the noodles with a few spring onion leaves and some coarsely ground peanuts. If you go to Thailand, Pad Thai noodles is a common sight at the roadside eateries. And the best part is it can be made with a combination of veggies. So what wait for? Go ahead and try it out.